This upcoming new moon in Cancer is very water heavy. If you check out this elemental analysis on astroseek.com, it's clearly a water moon. There's some mathematical stuff going on here, some house angle, ruler aspects, and then the points and the percentage of dominant planets. If you look down at the last part, the dominant element, we've got the sun points in water at 70.37% water moon. So what does that mean? It means we're talking about our emotional states, our feelings. This song, Feelings, came into my head, and it was a number 6 song in 1975. It was on the charts for 32 weeks, but it became the poster child for sappy, overdramatic ballads of the 70s, the mid 70s. And so it became kind of a trope or something to make fun of that type of music. It was written by Maurice Albert, and he actually got sued because he kind of did a plagiarization of some French song that nobody really knew, but the French guy was on to him and sued him. Anyway, the song is about feelings after losing a love. This guy loses his love and he still has feelings about it. It's been used for comic effect, basically, and it's made fun of for having too many feelings.
Feelings. Nothing more than feelings.
The word feelings, I've already said it about 20 times probably, but it's 23 times in the song. So it's a lot of times to say the word feelings. There's this website that I found that tells you information about song lyrics, and they also have comments. So a few comments were cracking me up. This is from Billy from Lompoc. He says, Larry Bird used to listen to this song before important basketball games. He'd often hum it to himself at the free throw line as well. I mean, you're never going to see Larry Bird the same. And think of him humming Feelings. So weird. Karen from Manchester, New Hampshire said, when I saw this under the category of involved in lawsuits, I thought it would have been sued by the state of Wisconsin for stealing the ultimate cheese. Thankfully, I like cheese, she says. Music Mama from New York says, when I decided to live a completely drug-free life, I had to clean out my medicine cabinet. Out went the Ipecac. Instead, I keep a copy of this recording handy. And Deanna from Indianapolis said, probably the sappiest song ever written. I mean, that's pretty simple but true. The moon is our most yin energy in astrology. It's the intuitive guide. It's the mother that's deep inside, that's ultimately unconditionally loving. It's caring to the max, and it helps us find the answers within when we're ready to listen. We're ready to listen to what it has to say. And a new moon each month gives us that time and space for introspection, but a new moon in Cancer is even more so because the moon rules Cancer. So it's like top level introspective energy for that kind of thing, focusing on the inner work and our inner child potentially. This is a very divine, very receptive, very caring, protective moon. There's a space for exploration and in a caring way, not to be hurt or fearful, but to be cared for and guided. Alongside that, we have Saturn trining this new moon in Pisces, potentially also setting some healthy boundaries for our emotions, seeing things in a little bit more of a pulled out, detached perspective. Cancer encourages us to embrace our feelings and connect with our true selves, our inner selves, but in a way that we find ease and fulfillment and contentment, wants us to be happy. And ideally, that inner harmony and happiness is gonna remind us of our authentic selves, which is worthy. It's worthy. A mother that's unconditionally loving loves you no matter what. And that's what's inside of us. It's built in with the moon. And the moon also changes a lot. The moon is always on the move, on the change, and it influences things like tides, and tides can be extreme. And let's apply that to emotions. Emotions can be that way too. They can be extreme and heavy and stormy and beautiful and dramatic and wonderful. But they're important. Any which variant of it, it's important. And they do fluctuate a lot. But that Saturn is going to help us. It's retrograding, traveling back over where it's already been. And it's coming from Pisces, which is a very loving sign. It's compartmentalization of that stuff, an ability to tie up some loose threads and make space for something new. Put that in the container and ship it off. Intuition is one of my favorite keywords for Cancer. The gift of Cancer is in the realm of the intuitive, very deeply intuitive. And intuition is wise, very wise. It knows the answer before an analytical mind can even process the data. There's a book by Malcolm Gladwell, it's called Blink, and it's all about that. Like, you know things that you really don't even know, but you already know. It's pretty wild. It's a good book. Any new moon is a time to set some seeds, set some intentions, and this particular one could be time for understanding your connection to your higher self, a higher consciousness, something greater within you, which guides you with loving care. It's easy to not hear those intuitive voices because they're whispers. And a lot of times there's so much noise distracting us. We have to get quiet to hear them properly, and we have to put effort in. It's not loud. All these other distractions we have are loud, and they make us sometimes question our own intuition. Maybe it's time to quiet those things down a little bit during the new moon and try listening in a different way. Why? Well, intuition is very efficient, and listening to it could lead to some reclamation of an emotional sovereignty, where we're not so defensive, not so reactive to other things. That's important because that can bring you a lot of peace. Like Astrology said, this is a watery new moon, and water invites us to look inward. And with Saturn trining and retracing its steps through Pisces, aka retrograding, we have time to reflect and rethink on those intentions for this new moon. It's all built together. It's like Legos. You put them together and you make eventually Darth Vader or something. I don't know. Some enormous New York skyscraper or dinosaur or whatever. So part of this is listening to your emotions and also using Saturn to help distance from them. Another thing that could happen around this new moon time is an increase in visions or messages or intense dreams, because the moon is linked to the subconscious. It's co-present Venus. This new moon's really close. So this can elevate the artistic and sensory elements of that new moon. Those parts of your mind are active, writing down those dreams, and maybe you have a story that comes from them, or a song, or something else that's creative, and there's a connection to some vast energy field. It's more of an open channel during this time. That could even be like some timeline jumping, or you're seeing things in the past that maybe you weren't even there for, or something in the future. Time isn't even linear. There's some Mobius strip. If you look at the Escher book, there's some cool Mobius strips in there. But that's like time. It's loopy. It's not there to scare us or be weird or anything. It's just there to help us evolve and grow into our most authentic and unique individual selves. And nothing is going to open to you until you're ready. If you don't have to go into dreams or visions or messages or anything like that. If you don't want to, that's all based on what you're ready for. It's all part of the divine experience though. So if you are interested in expanding that could be part of your intentions for this new moon in Cancer. More intentions around this new moon could be about family, intuition, your soul path, your practices, any residual mother wounds or things about you being a mother if you are one, or mothers that you're around. The great loving mother is inside of us though. The perfect archetype of the mother is through the moon, in a state of unconditional love and care. It's there. It's inside. Let's talk about the Sabian symbol for a moment. It's Cancer 15. In a sumptuous dining hall, guests relax after partaking in a huge banquet. I like this Sabian symbol. That sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like abundance. There's an abundance and enjoying it. Enjoy the fruits of your bounty, the fruits of the world, and the gorgeousness of our existence. And partake. Here's James Burgess. He says, though it carries obvious risks of greedy attachments, the enjoyment of material abundance is a valid spiritual principle. Why the heck not? There's so many gifts, all good gifts around us. It's not about being attached to them though. Like everything comes and goes, marked by lovers and styles of clothes. It's gonna go. So why not enjoy it while you have some sort of beautiful moment in abundance? Yeah, he goes on to say that exact same thing. In Sufism, it is taught that each plane of existence has its special mystery. The mystery of the earth plane is abundance. Whereas the attachment to material wealth is counterproductive to the true seeker, it's the attachment that's the problem, not the abundance itself. Attachment to austerity is no better. There's your Saturn for you. It's known that all life is a reflection of our inner condition, and when we have reached a high spiritual station, we can experience material abundance if we choose to. So, some food for thought at the banquet hall. Especially in this Cancer new moon. Just feel that. Feel that you're okay as you are, that there's a deep, loving, unconditional guide that's inside of you. No matter what is going on in this world, there is love. There is so much love. And I like you just the way you are, okay? I'll talk to you soon.